And we are back with another video. In today's video, we're bringing you some gameplay from the dev build with the Nerf already in there for the Super Wizards. We're going to take a look at some openings, just the openings. I'm not going to go through full attacks, but we're going to take a look at openings and see how the Wimp works on the Town Hall. What changed, what didn't change, if it's viable, if it's not viable, and if it's not viable, what are the effects of the update going to have on other troop comps? So sit back, buckle up, stay tuned, and enjoy the show. Okay, before we actually get into the nerfed Super Wizard gameplay, I want to give a big thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel through your likes in the video and through your subs of the channel. Those two things, plus leaving some comments down below, it definitely helps the channel to grow. So big shout out, big thank you to everybody who's done so in the past. And for all those of you who are looking to do so in the future, make sure you zap that like button, quake that sub button, and turn notifications on so you never miss when a video goes live. Now let's talk about the Super Wizard nerf. Well, first of all, we have to talk about what in fact did they nerf. Well, a couple of things that they did to affect the Super Wizard blimp. One thing that they did was they reduced the chain damage from 60% to 40%. That's the first thing they did. That's as far as the offensive power of the Super Wizard. But they've done something else. They've done something to help the defenses, going after the Super Wizards. And what that is they raised the little mini bombs. They raised the damage that it does just enough that with a little bomb together with a giant bomb, it's enough to take out a Super Wizard. So let's jump into some gameplay and take a look at the Super Wizard blimp, and you guys tell me what you think. I'll tell you what I think, but leave me comments down below and let me know what you think. What I'm seeing in all of these attacks is as follows. The Super Wizards are still doing exactly what you'd want from them. Honestly, if you would have told me, Avi, look at this attack and tell me if you think anything is wrong, I don't think I would have been able to figure out that something isn't quite the way that it always was. This to me just looked like it did its thing. But let's go over to another one. Let's look at another one. This one is up over here. Let's watch the Super Wizards do their thing up here. You know, one thing which I think it is going to have an effect, it is taking out the Town Hall. And I think that the most important thing when you are doing these wimps is to clear the Town Hall. The Town Hall is the one thing that you would be forced to use your warden ability on. And taking care of that Town Hall, frees up that warden ability for something else. If you could still take out the Town Hall with the Super Wizards, great. The only thing that it may change what I'm seeing so far, and it may change, I don't know if the chain damage has been reduced so much that maybe you could do the same thing with regular Wizards. I don't know. I'd have to try that, see if you could do it with regular Wizards. You know what? After all this, when I show you all the attacks that I've done with the Super Wizards, I'll go offline. I'll do one more attack on the dev build using regular Wizards and see if the regular Wizards could do the same thing that the Super Wizards do. But meanwhile, let's go and look at one more of these. And then I'll tell you, after looking at these and analyzing the actual wimp damage, the actual damage to what's going on, I'll give you my feelings on the situation. But here's this wimp coming in. And again, for those of you that don't know, when I say wimp, I mean wizard, blimp, I call wimp. Other people call it blizzard. Clash Bashing calls it Houdini. Everybody's got their own name for it. But I call it wimp. I like wimp the best. So there are all the attacks that I did on the dev build using the new what do you call it? Using the new nerfed Super Wiz. So now let's go back and let's talk about this. What did I see? Well, I saw that it was still doing what I wanted to do, which is taking out the Town Hall. Should it have taken out more things? Yes. You got to realize something. The Town Hall is a big, huge structure with a lot of hit points. So the longer those wizards have to fire on that town hall, it's affecting everything that's around the town hall and taking those down as well. Where now you don't really have that. But the super wizards are still able to do their thing and take down that town hall. So it's not going to have the full effect of taking out all the immediate buildings that are around the town hall, but it will still be able to take out that town hall. One other thing I did see. The big thing that I did see, and the thing that I think is going to cause the biggest problems for people, are the combination of small bombs, giant bombs put together. Those could take out the full, those could take out your full wizards. I believe a giant bomb does 375 damage, and a small bomb now does 125. So those two together are 500, which is enough to take out a super wizard. But if you put barbarians inside, you load up your extras with barbarians, as you could see in, I believe it was this replay. Let's go back into here. If you look at this replay over here, was it this one? I think it was this one. This one had all the little bombs around the, what he calls. There is it. Here comes the one. I think this one had all the little bombs around it. So if you look, yep, there it is. If you look at what's going on over here. All those little barbarians came out first. My super wizards are still behind the pack. So don't use archers. Make sure you use the little barbarians, because those will come out and those will take out the those will go directly for the traps. But now let's talk about, I'll just play that up. You see all those died out, and then my super wizards were still fine. They did their job. The town hall goes down. Yes, the Wiz Tower probably would have gone down with the old chain, but it is what it is. It still takes down the town hall. It still is going to save you the ward ability, and they still are going to do a good job. But now, what do I think is the effect that it's going to have on other armies? I believe that people, in order to defend, again, I'm not a base builder, but just thinking, I'm thinking that the strongest defense for these super wizards, for the Wimp, is going to be stacking that town hall, around the town hall, with bombs and stuff, with giant bombs, with small bombs, just putting them all in combinations over there to just knock them out. And that's the only way to really defend this. It's still going to take out the town hall. It's still going to do some serious damage to all the things that are around it. It just won't do as much. But because people may start packing their cores with giant bombs, small bombs, I think what it's going to do is it's going to take a lot of the traps that were originally sitting outside the base and put them back inside to the base, which may lead to people, having easier time queen walking and getting into the base and not having wall break fails. It may have an easier time on a ground army, going in there and not losing troops to a giant bomb, small bomb, stuff like that. I did see, a ground attack being used with the super wizard, and for those, it really did have a very large effect. Because when the super wizards are behind the tanking troops and they're expected to sit there and take out not just the level in front, directly in front of them, but those defenses that are behind that first row of defenses, and they're not, then those tanks are going to be taking the bulk of the firepower still. And those tanks are not going to last. And because the tanks are not going to last, then the shooters that are behind the tanks are not going to last either. So I think it will have an effect trying to use a super wizard army in a ground army. But as far as using the super wizard inside the Wimp, inside the Blizzard, inside your Houdini, whatever you want to call it, I don't think that it's going to have that much of an effect. For us regular people, for the professionals out there who expect it to take all the buildings around, yeah, it might be a big deal for them. But for them, it now, closes up, makes things a little more, possible that they're not going to get those triples with swagging full armies. So that is what it is. Let's go now and see if we can do the same thing with regular wizards. See if, because it doesn't have this extra chain damage like it used to have, see if using regular wizards will have the same effect. So let's go into it. Okay, so I went back and I took these attacks with regular wizards instead of super wizards, and now let's compare the two and see how they work out. So first of all, let's go and look at the super wizards on one of these bases, and let's look at the attack really quickly, and let's look at the effect of the wimp on there and see what the wimp did, and then we'll look at the regular wizards and see what that wimp did. Not the super wimp, but regular wimp. There's your super wimp. Took out that section over there, took out the whole section. Now let's go back and let's look at what regular wimp does. Let's see. For regular wimp, let's go over to this one now. So we saw the super wimp. Now let's look at regular wimp. Let's double speed it in there. Get that blimp in there, Avi. Put that rage down, Avi. Put the invisibility spell down. And there it goes. And they do their thing. And it's definitely the super wizards are still much, much more powerful than regular wizards. So yes, it doesn't have that 60%, but that 40% is enough that it can clear a whole section for you and develop that pathing. But let's look at another one, because I did take 3 of them. So let's look at another one. Let's look at base number 2 that I hit before with the super. That was this one, I believe. There's the base, and that's what I ended up taking out. That's what I took out using the super wimp. Now let's look at regular wimp and see on the same base how it compares. Let's go into there and see that one. And let's get that Coco Loons down and the blimp down. There's the rage. And there's the invisibility spell, and out come all of those troops. You got 15 troops in that blimp. Not a lot of room in there. And as you can see, I mean, the 10 wizards in the rage, in the invisibility, they're doing their job, but it's nowhere near the power of what those super wizards were, even with all of those extra wizards in there. So let's go and look at the last one, and then we'll sum up everything that we learned about this nerf, and we'll talk about it. Let's go into the last one. Last one was, I believe, this one over here. Let's double speed it in. There's the wimp. There is the rage. There's the super wizards doing their thing, and that's it. That's what I got. That's what I got out of the super wizards. With the now let's look at the regular wizards and see how comparable it was. Here is the regular wizards. And there's that blimp coming in. Rage. And there is the invisibility spell. And there's those wizards, and they're doing their thing. And as you can see, I mean, on a base where there was not a lot of what he calls, on a base where there was not a lot of chain to begin with, you know, it pretty much did the equivalent damage. But still, the super wizards are much, much stronger. So let's go and let's talk about this. So what did we say so far? I believe that the chain damage, the reduction in the chain damage is not going to have a tremendous effect on the way that people are using these wimps. Defensive-wise, there is now going to be a way to defend against the blimps, but it's not a foolproof way. You would have to really, really load up around the town hall with all kinds of bombs in there just to sit there and defend it. But if people start doing that, hey, it might make your queen charges a little bit easier, because all those traps that were initially outside the bases are now going to be inside the bases to defend against those super wizards. So that's it. I mean, make sure, if you've liked this video, make sure you hit the like button. We did that already. Like button, subscribe, notifications. We already talked about that. But one thing we didn't talk about, if you want to come by and you want to see all this gameplay in action on the day when the maintenance breaks, when the maintenance break comes and the nerf hits this, make sure you pop into the Twitch stream. We're there Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. We're having a great time. Come on by the stream. It's twitch.tv/Clash Playhouse. right down over there. And that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you're leaving a like and subscribe and turn notifications on. And if you didn't like this video, well, I'm sorry, and hopefully you'll like the next one. And leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're going to still try them, if you're staying very far away from them, moving on to something else. And that's going to be it. Until the next video, have a super great day.